But if they misfile it, I'm still going to be responsible because I'm the guy in charge. But I can delegate that power to other people that are under me, right? President can do that as long as they're within the executive branch. So, he has a chief of staff and he has his War Department. Department of Defense. What was called War Department back then, So that's what the executive order is for, right? To delegate the authority down to that, because he can't do it all. So he has people under him. He delegates, say, hey, take care of it. That's what the executive powers are for.
Yeah, but no general's going to invade another country without him.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
And most presidents are going to still say, hey, Congress, But see, and your saying, I love for this particular topic. He has this saying, I love it. For God so loved the world that he didn't send a committee.
Amen.
Right? So we need to wage war. So Congress, hang on, we're going to put it in committee. We'll get back to you in a few weeks. The war might be over by the time that happens. Sometimes a decisive decision must be made. So therefore, the president has the power to wage war. The Barbary Wars with the Barbary pirates, Jefferson and Madison, those were undeclared wars. There was no war declaration. So we know that the president's allowed to do it without a declaration. But in that case, Congress did give him the money. Just like Congress did give money for Iraq when it came to Bush. And then the Democrats are going around, oh my God, it's an illegal war. No, it isn't. He gave them the money, first of all. And second of all, he has the right to wage war. You don't like it, starve him with the money. Instead of screaming around with blood squirting out of your eyes in circles. Like they did with Kavanaugh. That's just what they do. Okay. But now we have the militia here. And he says, the militia went in actual service to the United States. So if we go back to Article 1, Section 8, go back a couple pages to page 7, fourth paragraph down, says that Congress shall have the power to provide for calling forth the militia. So who calls forth the militia? Congress. The president doesn't actually call forth the militia. Congress would. Page 7. Fourth paragraph down. Really, fourth sentence down too, when you look at it. Not even the full, actually, fourth part of the sentence. So Congress calls it forth. So if Congress calls forth the militia now is in service of the United States, therefore the president is commander-in-chief. I have a friend of mine who's in the National Guard. Guess what? When the state legislature calls him forth into duty, he gets a paycheck from the state. When Congress calls him forth into duty, he gets a paycheck from the federal government. Serious. He's been to Ukraine, and he's been to flood areas where he's just tossing sandbags. So the commander-in-chief, if the state calls forth the militia, is the governor. The commander-in-chief, if Congress calls forth the militia, is the president. So now let's bring up a recent scenario. Got the border. Trump says, you know what, I want to have the National Guard used at the border. And California governor says, well, you can't use my militia. And the Oregon governor says, you can't use my militia either. Well, if Congress calls up that militia, the National Guard, the governors have no say in it because he's not the commander-in-chief of those militias at that moment. The president is. Brown has no right to say, well, you can't use my militia, you can't use my National Guard. Bullpucky, Congress calls him up, guess who's commander-in-chief? The president. And I think if push came to shove, Trump probably would have done it too. One thing I do like about him is he doesn't beat around the bush. He's just, Okay. Real quick, a couple more minutes left, and then we'll pass the bucket. This is a free class, and just to let you know, but I do pass around the bucket if anybody wants to help out, because, gas and all that jazz. I do appreciate it. My two classes, for the most part, of my gas money, well, them and Banning Beaumont Cherry Valley Tea Party, helps me out quite a bit with gas. That's how I fund my gas. Because I don't get paid to do this. But I do appreciate everybody. All right. After that, it says, he may require the opinion in writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subject relating to the duties of their respective offices. You know what it's saying? This is on page 11. About midway of that first paragraph under section 2. You know what that's saying? The president doesn't know everything. So he's supposed to surround himself with people who do know things. And he's supposed to refer to them. And if he wants to cover his rear end, he'll get it in writing, because it says so. In writing.
I like that. I heard complaints about why is Trump giving up his right to.
He doesn't know everything.
Yeah, I'll buy it.
I mean, Obama knew everything, but I mean, other presidents don't. Okay, I'm kidding. But he just thought he knew everything. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I normally don't say his name because I tell groups that I don't use profanity in my.
You know that when Obama ran in 2008, you know how many advisors he had over foreign affairs?
How many?
300.
Well, wasn't that also the number of
390.
people that also went with Michelle whenever she went overseas? No, I'm kidding.
Can you imagine? 390. I mean, that's like 2 for every country in the world.
Yeah. Hey. Well, you know, a man who knows everything needs as much information as he can get, I guess.
He was qualified.
Well, I bet you he didn't need anybody though for Kenya.
Yeah.
Just saying. Or Indonesia. All right. Okay, and he shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. Hence the reason why Nixon resigned. If he'd have been impeached, Ford would not have been able to pardon him. If he had not resigned, if he had been impeached, Ford would not been would have been able to pardon him.
Well,
Because it says right here, except in cases of impeachment. And guess what Ford did the moment he became president? He pardoned. He pardoned Nixon. Got a question, comment?
No, I was just going to say impeachment doesn't put you in jail.
No. Matter of fact, what does impeachment mean? What's impeachment? Anybody guess? It is the.
Can we do this? The House says
It is the indictment or charge of misconduct. It's not the actual removal from office. Well, so they were impeached. That means they were removed from office. No, it doesn't. Impeachment is the charge. Removal from office is the consequence if you're found guilty. We've had 2 presidents impeached, but none removed from office.
But they were guilty.
Well, the last one was, yeah. So who are the 2 presidents who were impeached?
Clinton.
Clinton and who?
Johnson.
Andrew Johnson. Yeah. And Andrew Johnson, you know why they tried to impeach him? He kept disagreeing with Congress. So the stuff about, you know, the other party disagreeing and trying to impeach someone for just disagreeing and no crime, you know, like with Trump, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Johnson. Of course, in that case, it was the opposite. The Republicans were trying to impeach the Democrat because he disagreed with their Reconstruction ideas.
And why was Johnson a Democrat, the vice president?
Yeah, well, yeah, because he had been, he wasn't elected president. How did he become president? How not Andrew Johnson become president? He became president because of the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. But Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. And he had a Democrat vice president. How's that work out?
That's because they haven't switched things around yet.
No, they have. So why did you choose Andrew Johnson as, now he didn't in the first term, it was the second term he chose Johnson. Why? Johnson believed in holding together the Union, but he was from Tennessee, so he carried with him the sympathies of the peripheral states, the ones that were right on the border states.
So it was a compromise to take to help.
It was an idea to keep those states in the Union. So okay, our guy's in there. Lincoln wants to hold together the Union, but he's willing to work with us because our guy is vice president. That kind of thing. It was, so it was kind of a compromise.
I know it used to go by vote way back when, but by the time Lincoln was around,
Yeah,
I
you
thought-
could choose.
you could pick him. You could have a Democrat for vice president.
Well, that's the way the party started doing it. Yeah. Yeah, originally the party and the president didn't matter. It was, you know, first, everybody ran for president. The first place winner was president. The second place winner was vice president. And if they're opposing parties, what's the danger there?
Sure.
Yeah, the vice president realizes he's only 1 bullet away from becoming president. Probably not a good thing, huh?
What
Hence
are
the
the
reason-
chances?
Hence the reason for the 12th Amendment. When we get to that, we'll talk about it. All right, questions, comments? All right, we're actually now about 4 minutes after, so I apologize. All right, guys, we'll continue to Article 2 next week. Here's the bucket if anybody wants to
All roads lead to the same thing.
yeah, all roads lead. Well, it's like, you know, he used to take me out to dinner. Sometimes I take him out to dinner and stuff. Of course, I take him to cheaper dinner, so you know, take me longer to pay him back. But my saying has always been, it doesn't really matter because in the end it'll all even out, right? But anyway, good to see you guys. Glad you're here. Hopefully, our 4 missing bodies will be here next week. Good to see you, Karen. I'm glad you're here. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If you learned, did you learn something?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh yes. Okay, that's what I like to hear. Because you're Riverside, if I remember right.
Yes, well.
Yeah, like real close though. You're. I said on the phone. I said La Sierra. You said no. You're.
Riverdale,
Yeah. Okay.
just
But-
over the river.
So, hey, you know. Well, see, by now the traffic has died down.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a good part. I actually drove right by you on the way here. Kind of drove right because I'm in Banning on Tuesday mornings and afternoons. So the Banning Beaumont Cherry Valley Tea Party has a breakfast meeting on Tuesday morning, so I go up there for that. And then so every Tuesday morning, if you want to go to Banning breakfast, I'm there. And then radio studio. I actually host 2 radio shows. One of them is sponsored by the Tea Party, and I'm their host. And so we pre-record on Tuesday. And then after that, then I come on down here. And when I get here depends on how quick I get out of the studio. So there's times where I'll get here like at 2 o'clock, and I'm sitting here and I'm on my computer and I'm doing my thing at 2 o'clock until 6. There's other times like tonight where I got here, what did I get here, like 20 after 5? 25 after 5?
Yeah.
Well, because we were in the studio longer, it was a more chitter chatter between the people, plus also our engineer wasn't there, so our backup engineer, who's also one of the co-hosts, had to do both duties, and that took a little longer. So. But anyway, I'm normally here every Tuesday. Just a heads up for you, that gate out there. Sometimes I didn't do it tonight, but sometimes during the class, if I know that they're all gone and stuff, I'll close that gate because I don't want anybody just walking in and the owner trusts me. This place is actually are closed now. And so if for some reason the gate's closed, I watch for headlights and to open the gate, but also I'll give you my phone number so that you can call me and say, hey, I'm at the gate, open the gate or whatever. If for some reason you're after 6.
Thank you for being here. May go live later this evening,
Here's my card.
like 10 o'clock California time, maybe a little later. Thanks for now.
Hopefully
Thanks for being here.
Hopefully
God
you
bless.
come back. I hopefully you enjoyed
Next
it.
week, if you
Tell
have
your
any
friends.
questions,
I would like
always
to
feel
see
free to
School
ask,
again someday.
and you'll get your questions answered right here on the spot.
I'm sorry?
We're signing out. Bye for now. God bless. Bye.
So your Bible study isn't on Tuesday nights?
Monday morning, Wednesday mornings.
Wednesday mornings, okay. I used to do my classes Tuesdays and Thursdays because a lot of people go to church or Bible studies on Wednesday night. The problem was with Thursday was